Hi guys, welcome to Moneycontrol. I'm Karunya Rao and with me is Manisha Gupta. Manisha, if only I had a nickel for the number of times we've had this conversation this week. What's happening with metals, especially nickel?
You know, Karunya, in last 5 years, nickel prices only gained up by $11,000.
Right.
In last 24 hours, nickel prices gained up by $72,000. I mean, all we had to do is buy some nickel, and
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Nickel.
But the reason that you have seen a run-up in nickel is there was a lot of massive historic short squeeze here. A lot of people were sitting on shorts and they were covering those shorts in very low liquidity is the reason you saw that run-up. And to add to those woes, there were two margin failures that we saw, one from the industry and one from a Chinese bank. And that is what led to even more rush coming into the prices. Well, we have seen $100,000 per ton of nickel prices there, and it only had to trade there before LME actually came in. They have been putting in further surveillances, but for the day now, the LME has suspended nickel trading into the markets there. This is unheard of. LME, a 145-year-old organization, has never done that before. So these are a lot of firsts that I am seeing in my lifespan when you talk about commodities here. But since the suspension, there has been some profit taking. Markets still are scared because
people can book profits even
they
though
can't do anything right now.
Okay.
On LME, you cannot do anything.
Okay. So, who are the users and who will be the worst hit because of the soaring prices?
I think India would be hit quite strongly because we do not produce any nickel. We import all the 100% of nickel that is utilized. So, the kind of stainless steel industry that we have, you need to import all that nickel. And overall global nickel, nearly 65 to 70% of that goes in for stainless steel, 7% goes in for EV. And all these big stories that we've been doing in last 1 year about the EV, it looks really difficult right now with the kind of nickel price rise that we've seen.
So, automobiles and steel makers.
Yes.
Okay, where do we import this nickel from? I mean, given the geopolitical scenario playing out, I mean, is it because of that? I mean,
it is.
Russia
So we import a lot of Indonesia. We import from Indonesia and Philippines. These are the major producers, and the third largest producer is Russia. So depending on what year you are looking at, nearly 7 to 10% of global nickel comes in from Russia, and that really seems to be getting out of the market because of the self-sanctions, because of the SWIFT sanctions, and because the shipping companies do not want to cater to Russian commodities. I think that is what had led to the prices going higher, but last 24 hours clearly has been about short squeeze because the markets did understand that there is no going back. Nickel prices are not going down, and even as nickel has been a very volatile commodity, markets do believe that we are going to be staying at these higher all-time high levels for nickel for some more time.
What about other metals? Because yesterday the flavor was also aluminium.
We are still trading at near all-time highs onto this one. $4,100 a ton is what we did as an all-time highs. It's holding around 4,000 right now. But you know, the fact being that since LME has reacted on nickel, that has led to other metals pairing some bit of gains there. You won't be looking at a crash or a major sell-off, but yes, there's some consolidation from those higher levels that we saw yesterday. And it's not just aluminum. You had palladium hitting all-time highs. You also saw copper prices hitting all-time highs yesterday at around $10,800 per ton, and we are still holding around those levels. So metals, anything to do with automotive.
Metal is selling sone ke bhao, it seems.
It is. And Karunya, when you look at manufacturing, construction, EVs, automobiles, I think we're looking at very high inflation.
Where is this headed? Because I remember you telling us yesterday that even if there is some kind of a retreat from Russia's end, this will still play out in a massive way. So are we looking at soaring metal prices for the rest of the year perhaps?
Karunya, I've been talking to a lot of international experts on metals, and they tell us that 10 to 15 to 20% of gains in some of the metals is what they are looking at in this year itself. It's unprecedented. We haven't seen that kind of a run. It's overbought, but the momentum is still on the higher side. And even if there is a ceasefire, as we were talking earlier, the sanctions are not going to go away in a hurry. So that will keep the metal prices higher.
What about gold?
That's the one that's glittering now. Yes, let's talk about that because $2,000 per ounce last time when we tried to breach did not stay above that. But today seems like a successful attempt over those kind of levels. We've done a high of $2,026 per ounce. All-time highs $2,070 per ounce. So markets do believe that we've seen a breakout now and we could be looking at higher highs. For the Indian markets, because of the rupee depreciation, I think we are in a much more cushioned position here. So we've done 54,000 already. 56,000 is an all-time high, and markets do believe that 60,000 of a level can be quite comfortably seen this year.
Suffice to say, wedding season ended at the right time.
Oh, it did, because nobody is buying. Nobody is buying at these levels
right now. What do you think, I mean, is the way forward? Are there any targets? I mean, near term, you're saying that we're looking at higher highs, but are there any annual targets that have come up? Any raised target prices for gold?
So when it comes to inflation, you will see a lot of buying come in here. So there is inflation, there is geopolitical tensions, there is financial uncertainties into the market, and gold will bask in the glory of all of that there. We've seen Citi, Bank of America come out with latest targets of $2,150 per ounce on the higher side, which is more than $100 from where we are standing right now. So yes, very bullish. But people also tell you that if you're looking to make that quick money, then silver is your better bet. Silver is done very, very well. We are up by 13% in the last 1 week itself, and very strong expectations onto that one.
So finally, all this silver buying has done me some good.
Oh, there's a silver lining to your portfolio.
Yes, absolutely.